It is Karadeg. He's over there.
Siora, Bertir Tumad Donegad. What are you doing with these strangers?
These strangers are my friends, Karadeg. You can speak in front of them without fear.
What do you want?
Tell me about your role as Keeper of Promises. What does it consist of?
Most words must be free and able to fly like birdsong. But some words must survive those who utter them. So they call on the Keepers of Promises. Those who want to become one must win the trust of the Donegada and prove their wisdom. Then they teach us the words of stone. And when someone wants to seal a promise, we offer them those words.
So you are a kind of cleric? Thank you, Karadeg.
Do you want to know anything else?
We would like to ask you about a stone you supposedly engraved.
It is the stone of the Renaigse, isn't it? I should never have accepted to seal such a promise. I did not like them, but I could not refuse to fulfill my duty. Not when Bladnid was demanding it. And now that she is no longer with us, these Monasinaiga are chasing me.
It is because you are the last person to know what was engraved on it. The stone has been destroyed.
I kept the piece of tree bark in which I prepared the glyphs. All the details are there.
With this tree bark, we could verify what my mother promised. Can you give it to us?
No, Donegad. I do not mean to disrespect you, but I will not. The Renaigse only bring us trouble, and you come with them. They will disappoint you just like they disappointed your mother. I do not want to deal with them ever again. They threaten my life, and because of them, I am forced to hide here.
In that case, maybe we should tell the priests about your hideout. How about that?
Why would you do that? They would kill me.
I cannot believe you would say that.
This man's hatred of the settlers has made him blind. That he'd rather let his village fall into their hands than help us. He leaves me no choice.
Here, take this damned bark and leave me alone. Leave!
What do these glyphs say?
That we will assist the priests in their war against the lions, and they must help us in return. There is nothing about the spirits of the people of the village, or renouncing our traditions. I knew they were lying. Let's show this to Iselt. Siora, Asir, always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
Azeld, about this pact your mother supposedly made with the priests.
Yes. Did you find anything new?
We went to Falristel to see the stone.
Were you able to read it, Siora? No, because it was destroyed by someone. I am certain that the priests did it to protect their lies. You're probably right, but for as long as we cannot prove it...
We retrieved the piece of tree bark that Karadeg used as a model.
Siora, what's written on it? Mother promised to help them against the lions, and they promised to help us in return. There's nothing mentioned about them settling here. And even less about them being entitled to the spirits of the people of our village. So they lied. They mocked us and insulted the memory of our mother. I think it's high time they left. Don't you agree? I think so too. Come on, let's go. You lied to us. You took us for gullible children. Leave this village at once. You will never be welcome here again.
But if you want our help with the Alliance, your people must convert to the light.
Petrus, could you try to reason with them?
My brothers and sisters, you have tried to convert this village in a deceitful manner, but your attempt has failed. It's time for you to recognize your defeat and leave this place with dignity.
Father, do you really think that...
Come on. We cannot disobey a bishop, sister. We'd better leave now.
I did not think they would leave of their own accord. Thank you, Anol Manawi. Thanks to you, we managed to chase away these lawyers. And we will be able to perform our rituals and give our mother back to the earth. Yes. Thank you. Our village is in your debt. Shiora, I will need you for the ritual. Will you help me? Of course, Asir. Karan, do you need something?
How did you know that those missionaries were lying? After all, given the situation, your mother could have wanted to form an alliance.
I knew my mother well. We were close. She would never have renounced her beliefs to forge an alliance.
I understand. However, couldn't she have renounced it in hope of protecting her daughters?
Perhaps. But she knew us just as well as we knew her. And she knew that we'd rather die in battle than renounce our beliefs. Anything else?
Why are you and your sister so different?
If you're talking about physical differences, they're linked to the fact that Iseld is not on Olmenawi. When we were little, we were perfectly identical. But our tempers were always different.
What kind of child were you?
I suppose I was very curious and studious. I loved when our father taught me the name of some plants and how they could be used.
Then you haven't changed. Isn't it out of the same curiosity that you chose to follow me?
At first, perhaps. But the more I know you, the more I find other reasons to stay with you. Anything else?
I must pass the trial of water. Do you know anything about it?
I have heard it talked about. It is a trial that all must pass if they wish to become the High King. One says that the trial reveals the true personality of those who pass it. My mother passed it during the last election, but it was Vinbar that was elected in the end.
Did she tell you about it?
A little, but it is a secret trial. It is important that you give your whole heart to it. I know that you must choose your path in your way. Combat is not necessarily the best response, even if it allows you to get to where you are going. If you are confronted with animals, remind yourself that they must feed, and there are ways of altering food to make those who eat it fall into a deep and peaceful sleep.
Is that an idea that your mother used? It's clever. Thank you.
Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
My dear child,
I will see you later.
take care, my...
Karantz, could you help me once more?
What is it?
I must prepare the ritual for our mother's funeral, and I think that I will need your help.
But your sister will be there. Surely you'd rather be together.
For the ritual, yes, it will only be the two of us. But before that, your support would be a great help. Will you come with me?
Of course. I'd be happy to be by your side. Let's go.
Shiora, Asir. Vertir to Madiseld. I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
I'm only here to accompany Siora.
I came to give our mother back to the earth, Iseld. It is high time we did, I know. Performing the ritual might help me feel less empty. Iseld, I miss her too. Did you go to Vasrigan? No. Preparing the place is the role of the Donegada. I was afraid I would not do things properly. We are approaching Vasrigan. This is where I will perform the ritual. This burial mound has been the final resting place of our queens for generations. It must be prepared before we can start the ritual. Something's wrong. Normally, you would hear the birds singing in this place.
What do you mean?
She's right. Something isn't quite normal.
There. Tenlands. This is not their natural habitat at all. We cannot leave them here, so close to the burial mound. See any around here. They must have nested in the shadow of the burial mound.
In that case, we have no choice but to destroy their nests. Otherwise, they'll just keep coming back.
You are right. We cannot let these carnivores roam so close to my mother's remains. Will no longer trouble the peace of our queen. All we have to do now is to take care of the ceremony.
Is there anything else to prepare?
Of course. We will need some sensors crafted especially for the ritual.
Where can we find them?
It would be ideal if we could craft them ourselves, but otherwise the village artisan probably sells them. And I will also need some mortuary lotion. I will have to coat my mother's body with it before giving her back to the earth. I will give you a list of all the ingredients because we will have to prepare it ourselves. The merchants won't sell it. Once we have gathered these last items, then Isolde and I will be able to perform the ritual. I thank you for being by my side and helping me the way you are. It means a lot to me.
Don't mention it, Siora.
We have all that we need. Let's go back to the burial mound to put everything in place. Here we are. It is on this stone altar that we will place the body of my mother. We must place a censer where her head will be, and another near her feet. And then you will have done everything you could to help me. And I am infinitely grateful for it. Your presence by my side means a lot to me. But only my sister and I can participate in the ceremony. This is how our ritual of the dead is performed. Do you understand? There. Everything is in place. Thanks again, Onal Manawi. My sister should be joining me soon. You should wait outside. Oh, these rituals are demanding. But they help us to say goodbye to those we love. You have been a true friend. A Karans, accepting to help me the way you did. Thank you. I will never forget the kindness you displayed. Conforming to our customs and staying by my side.
It's only natural, Siora. I know what it feels like to lose someone who was dear to you.
We should go now. It is time to return to the living.
Siora, do you know anything about the trial that awaits us inside?
My mother passed it during the last election, but it was Vinbar that was elected in the end.
Did she tell you about it?
A little, but it is a secret trial. It is important that you give your whole heart to it. I know that you must choose your path in your way. Combat is not necessarily the best response, even if it allows you to get to where you are going. If you are confronted with animals, remind yourself that they must feed, and there are ways of altering food to make those who eat it fall into a deep and peaceful sleep.
Is that an idea that your mother used? It's clever. Thank you.
Look, they're eating the old carcass. If you poured some sleeping potion on it, they'd fall asleep.
I don't have a sleeping potion on me.